Hello everyone, Neph here, and it's episode 12 of our Let's Play. And I know what you're wondering, Neph, where have you been? Well, I can tell you now. It's kind of a long story actually, but I mean, for the most part it was a lot of family stuff and things I'd rather not go into. So yeah, kind of morbid stuff, but anyway, that's all mainly out of the way now at this stage. And as well, I had a lot of college stuff and all to do. I mean, at the time I had like exams and stuff, it was kind of crazy. And so yeah. Plus, as well, I've been working on my setup. I mean, like, before, I was using, like, this weird little headset thing to record, and it was not great, yes. I mean, I had to spend, like, 2 hours editing the video afterwards, so you didn't hear, like, in the background, which was kind of annoying. But, no, I mean, now it's better. I'm actually currently using a Blue Yeti microphone, which is quite nice. The funny thing is, as you know, if you've ever used the Yeti before, there's really no way to actually, you know, move the pop filter around, so... In fact, there's no way to properly attach a pop filter because it doesn't have any kind of normal stand, and it doesn't really fit on a normal stand very well. So I'm currently, pardon me, I'm not joking when I literally say I have a coat hanger wrapped around my Yeti stand, molded into the form of a stand, and then my pop filter is like taped onto the end of it. So yeah, that's my Uber setup. My computer may be awesome, but my microphone is currently not. But although in fairness, I'm happy with the quality. I wasn't sure how this would work, but I've done a few tests and it seems to be good for now, so yeah, that's good. So anyway, what I'm actually doing here at the moment on screen, as you can see, this is another super speed episode, and I have to keep reminding myself to talk slower. I'll get the hang of it after a while. It's been a while, okay? It's been a while. But yeah, so currently I'm just building a new airship because I didn't really like the whole hot air balloon thing. It was kind of, well, silly. So the thing is, the way I build airships, especially because I couldn't remember how I normally build them, so I actually spent like literally 15 minutes, and I mean that's a sped up 15 minutes, trying to figure out how I actually build these. So this is a bit tedious, but I mean I'll do a bit of talking in the meantime because I do have to explain what the heck went on and why I haven't been here in a very long time. But anyway, as to all of you who are asking, no, I am not dead. I believe me here talking proves that. I am absolutely not dead. I've just been, as I said, busy. And one thing I want to say is a lot of people have been saying, you know, I mean, like, I know what happens with a lot of YouTube channels. You know, like, they disappear for, like, they make, say, 5-10 videos and then they just disappear and they never come back again. I may do that occasionally. Like, I kind of took an unofficial hiatus this time. I may eventually, like, occasionally just kind of drop off the radar, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stop making videos. It just means I'm taking a break. So I wouldn't worry about that. I mean, if I ever do drop off, it's, I'm not dead. I love that on the internet. Like, you know, you're gone for like 2 days. It's like, oh my god, Neph is dead. Oh my god. So yeah, but no, I'm not dead. I can guarantee that. And yeah, I really just wanted to say that I'm not dead because I've been getting a lot of comments like that. And yeah, but no, I mean it's interesting as well. I mean, when I started this YouTube thing, this was kind of a bit of an experiment for me. I'd never done this sort of thing before. And I mean, like, we're currently almost now at 1,000 subscribers, which is awesome. But, I mean, as time went on, I never really had too many haters, or anything like that, but, one thing I actually noticed is, of course, the moment I stopped making videos, wow, I mean, like, seriously, to say, like, haters is an understatement. I mean, like, I mean, I have some really awesome subscribers, and, like, in fairness, a lot of you were, like, really patient, just, like, occasionally would check back and say, so, Neph, you dead? But, there were some, and, now, I mean, obviously this isn't all of you, but there are, you know, like, a few who are, like, I swear, like, you don't make a video for 2 days and it's like, oh my god, you're the worst person in the world, oh my god, ah, rage. So, yeah. But, no, I mean, like, the only, in fact, I had, like, it got to the stage where I was getting, like, you know, like, they were trying to, like, threaten me. It's like, you know, like, if you don't make the videos, I'll unsubscribe and this sort of thing. I'm like, cool, go ahead. I don't want you on my channel, so, yeah, it was kind of nice. But, no, I mean, like, the one awesome thing is the few of you who, like, I mean, basically, another reason I kind of waited so long was, as I said, I did lose probably like, what, 4 or 5 subscribers, but a lot of them were just like the crazy haters, and the people who stuck around are like all the ones who actually, you know, are just normal, patient, and would just wait for you to make a video. And in fairness, I probably should have made a video sooner. A lot of people complained that I didn't really make a video to explain that I was in hiatus and that sort of thing. I actually did leave like a hell of a lot of comments, but of course, you know, like they're on different videos and they get lost a lot. But, I mean, like, in fairness, I probably should have just made a quick video and said, like, by the way, not dead, just so you know. Of course, the problem is, every time I'm gonna go, like, 2 days without making a video, I'm gonna have to make one of those videos, so... yeah, it's a bit, yeah. I have no idea where I'm going with this. I had, like, a plan when I started this commentary, and now I'm just, I don't know. I just don't know. It's actually so weird making videos now again. It took ages, like, it's just... when you're not in the habit of doing it, to actually go back and like talk to your computer screen again is a bit weird. But yeah, hopefully now with the new microphone it's a lot easier to do it. I mean, it's a lot less awkward. I mean, with the last one, if I like went to scratch my head and I moved the microphone around, you got this crazy like feedback on all the microphone, and just it used to be such a bother to make videos because I had to spend, like I said, about 2 hours editing them afterwards because it picked up everything, and like if you didn't speak perfectly the entire time, it was so irritating. I spent like so long just like, I mean, you can't tell because the videos you won't tell, but I mean, I spend so long going through all the videos, and for each video, like I would literally listen to it like loudly with headphones on, and if there was any kind of background noise, like, you know, just like kind of like slurping noises and stuff like that, or like kind of breathing down the mic and stuff, I would edit it out manually. It was such a pain. I mean, you can imagine that for a half-an-hour video. So yeah, it was a real pain in the ass. But as I said, hopefully with this microphone now, that will kind of prevent a lot of that, so I shouldn't have to do that. And the good thing about that for you guys is if I do that, it then means that I can make a lot more videos, like I can produce them a lot faster. I mean, a lot of people used to complain that I didn't do videos, and when I said it was effort, they're like, come on, like, you sit down for, like, turn on your microphone and that's it. It's like, no. Seriously, people, I mean, you ask any YouTuber, I mean, on average, even with a good setup, the average video takes at least a couple of hours to, like, you know, fully, between, I mean, recording it is the short part. And I mean, commentating is also the short part. It's, no, I mean, like, the post-editing and I mean, even the uploading takes forever. I mean, it takes, like, several hours to upload videos where I am. Keep in mind the upload speed in Ireland is like, what? I don't know, it's like half a meg. And that's my, well, I think it's 2 now on my current connection, but I mean, still, it's nothing. And so, yeah, I mean, like, that's long enough. I mean, like, let's just say average video, yeah? One of the first 10 episodes. Like, I mean, first off, just to kind of figure out what I'm gonna, like, when I sit down, I first sit down just to get myself set up, like, get the microphone set up, like, the headset, get all my sound working. I mean, like, I'm on Linux and I have to set up everything beforehand, so, like, it's recording from the right source. I have to test it's recording from the right source. And so all of that takes about half an hour just to, you know, get ready to record. And then once I've done that, to actually then sit down and record the thing, of course, usually takes, like, 45 minutes. Keep in mind, like, a lot of the episodes I did cut out a lot of stuff for speed up stuff, so they're usually a lot longer than they seem they are. And then even when I've done that, it's like, what? I'm sorry, I'm distracted by the video now. This blimp took so long to make! And what's worse is I redesigned it, like, ooh, I whistled there, sorry. What's worse is I redesigned this, like, I don't know, 7 different times, so, yeah, you're gonna see a lot of me just tearing stuff down, raging, and rebuilding it. But anyway, as I was saying, something like, yeah, I mean, it's like, what, half an hour to get going, then half an hour to actually record the thing. That's the easy part. Then afterwards, I have to spend, I mean, like, just, first off, I have to sync up the audio and video. Now, that's not as hard as it used to be, but it's still fairly difficult. And then even once I've done that, I then basically have to watch the entire video with my headphones on, going through it and splicing it up and making all those little changes I have to make, carefully editing the audio. And, like, I mean, for one audio edit I have to make, depending on how awkward it is, can take a minute almost, you know? So, I mean, if I have to make a couple hundred of them for a video, I could literally spend easily several hours editing it. And so, like, that's about 4 or 5 hours before I've even started to upload the video. And then to upload it takes at least about 2 hours for, like, even a half-an-hour episode. That's optimistic. So, yeah, I mean, it is actually quite a lot to get, like, one video up. Now, as I said, it all comes down to trying to, you know, kind of pimp my setup, and I mean, the easier it is for me to record, the quicker I can get videos up, and the more I'll actually pump out in that case. I mean, even now, I can find this, like, it's so much easier to record with this mic. I don't have to, like, have this thing around my head, don't have to set up beforehand, it's just sitting to my, like, the side of my computer. I just pull it over, plug it in, tell my computer to use that as the input source, and it's so much easier. Plus, I mean, even on the operating system side of things, like on Linux, I've set up things now so it's so much easier to record. Oh, and by the way, if this audio is kind of like, you know, getting louder and quieter, I apologize. I'm moving away from the mic here sometimes. I'm not really sure how this will turn out. I've never really used this kind of mic before, so yeah. And I keep whistling down the mic, so I'm going to take a drink while I murder these pigs. Again, that's another advantage. With the last setup, I could not do anything. I couldn't even take a drink because you would hear it on the mic. Here I can just sit back and wait for it. And then with that, you don't get that. And of course as well with the pop filter, if I go Peter Piper picked a pickled pepper, you won't get horrible static in the mic. So yeah, I'm really liking this setup right now. And as for this episode, because I've ranted for a while now, I'm almost, I'd love to say I'm almost finished this blimp. I mean, like I said, it took 15 minutes to make it when I sped it up.
So I mean, like I'm currently at like 3 times normal speed. So yeah, like 45 minutes fecking around with this thing, deciding what I want to do with it. Oh, and you'll also notice that I'm still on 1.7 with this, because I have no hunger bar. Like, I just have a health bar. I mean, like, as you know, I hadn't basically kind of touched this whole setup since about 1.8 was out. And so yeah, I mean, like, my Let's Play is still on 1.7. I don't want to upgrade it just yet, because keep in mind the world generation changes with 1.8, and I'll get these weird kind of like edges to the world. I have a few plans there. I mean, like, what I'm thinking about doing is just kind of I mean, like, starting again in a new world. I might bring some stuff with me, like maybe an airship or something, but I don't really want to bring everything with me. Although, of course, I did have this fun idea to just bring the whole house with me, like, just, like, take it off with the Zeppelin and just, like, I don't know, like, make a 1.2 world? And just, like, MC edit the whole thing in. I could do it. Oh, and actually, another major pain in the rear with this episode was, I mean, at this point, Zeppelin was... Well, it's technically more stable, I think, in this version than it is in the newer versions. But there's a little glitch, and I was using, like, single-player commands to do one thing. I forget what it was for. I think it was, oh, what was it for again? Oh yeah, I think there was, like, a spawn glitch with something. And for some reason, like, a huge amount of mobs spawned. I think it was, like, a bug in the version. And I was trying to, like, kill them off, and there's a command, a single-player commands to actually kill them all off. The problem is, that kills off all entities. And, yeah, the airship was also an entity, so I accidentally destroyed the whole airship. And I had to rebuild the entire thing again. So, yeah. You can see how long it takes this time. I mean, like, it's... Yes. So, yeah. Oh, God, I'm so chesty today, sorry. But, yeah. So, hopefully we'll get more stuff out now. I mean, I know I've said that before, but at least now I have, like, my proper recording setup done. So, yeah. And, I mean, as for other stuff as well, I kind of... It's still annoying, though. I wanted to get, like, you know, background music enough for this video, but I couldn't, because I couldn't even fucking buy the album I wanted off of iTunes. So, and I have to buy it to use it in the video, so... Yeah, it's kind of annoying. But what can you do? Oh, and as to what I'm going to be doing, I did record a bunch of server stuff recently. It was, I've mentioned a guy before, Sevtai. I recorded a whole bunch of stuff on his server, and I never uploaded it. The main reason was it was going to require a ton of editing. I kind of, like, did it on a whim, like, last thing at night, and of course, this sound was just really bad, and, oh, it was just going to be so much editing. I'm probably going to do it at some stage, but just not for a while. In fact, I might just re-commentate the whole thing, as silly as that is. And, so yeah, Sevtai, if you are watching this, apologies for that. I probably should have uploaded that footage by now. Because, in fairness, they did give me a tour of the server. And so, yeah, apart from that, not too much going on. I'm trying to remember everything else I had to say. I should really take, like, a list at the start of these things. So, yeah. Oh, no, in case I actually forgot to mention, I'm currently working on a mod at the moment. I think I've mentioned it before, but now it's going a lot further. In fact, I'm actually, like, what, 90% of the way done at this stage? So, yeah, that's awesome. It's going to be a fairly simple mod. The idea is, like, you know, just kind of adds a few blocks to the game. They do some stuff. Doesn't wreck vanilla. Like, it should suit vanilla pretty well, I think. So, that should be good. I'm going to actually add it to the series once I get it finished. And, of course, as well, that will be up on the forum, so you'll be able to download it as well. So you can play along if you want to. Yes, things, places. And so, yeah. And actually, as well as that, I'm planning on doing, like, a second mod. And... Ooh, pardon me. Dying here slightly. Anyway, oops. And I hit the disc. Score! Anyway. So, yeah, with this second mod, I'm kind of planning that, I'm going to have that kind of as a thing I add to every week. And so, like, if you're watching the series, I will add it to the series, but, like, I won't tell you when I'm adding it. So, you know, stuff will kind of just turn up in the series. And then, like, say, a couple of days later, it'll be available to download as part of the mod. So, yeah. So it'll be kind of like a little Friday update thing, but you should be able to take part. And it'll just, it won't be like the other mod. Like, the first mod is going to be just, you know, that has a theme and stuff. This is going to be, like, just random stuff that I feel like adding on a daily basis. So, like, you know, anytime I feel like the game is missing something, I'll just add it in and say, like, look, I made this, want to play with it? Here you go, here's a mod. So yeah, that should be good. Oh, and actually, I moved the microphone. It was, it's
it's kind of silly. I had the microphone on the desk, and my computer is so freaking loud that the vibrations actually are picked up by the mic, like through the desk. So I actually tried to kind of isolate it a bit, but yeah, I mean, I literally have the mic on a book, on a piece of styrofoam, and that sort of does it. This setup gets more and more ridiculous every day. Anywho, back to the video. As you can see, we're actually at normal speed now, because finally we're going to take off. And of course, I do the same stupid thing here again. You can see I forgot to disconnect the fucking path. So just straighten up the ship and disconnect that concrete. A few of you who've seen the episodes before might remember what I did before with the house, where I accidentally almost lifted the entire house off and flew around a bit. So yeah, that's it. We're good to go! And we're away! So yeah, with that, we're off. I much prefer this airship. The last one was ridiculous. This one actually looks sort of like an airship. And we're leaving the portal behind. Good day, portal. I actually forgot it's autumn at the moment. Oh, and actually, in the next season of the series, I might remove the seasons mod, because it's a bit silly. Plus, there's like whole new biomes and stuff nowadays, so I don't know. I think I just prefer to have it without. And we're away. See, this is the part I wanted music for, but of course, I can't get music because fucking iTunes. Oh, anyway. Anyway, enough ranting. But yeah. And let me know what you think about the new mic, because I kind of like it at the moment, but I mean, obviously I'm playing around with it as it is. I'm not really sure how it sounds. You probably noticed at the start of the video, like, there was kind of a hum in the background. That was like the vibrations I was talking about, but I think I've stopped that now, so hopefully you won't get that anymore. For now. I really need to get like a proper shock mount for this mic, and have like a, you know, like a proper stand and shock mount, so it just makes it so much easier. I mean, now, like I said, it's standing on a book and a piece of styrofoam and has a coat hanger holding up the pop filter. It's a little ridiculous. But yeah. I forgot how awesome Zeppelin is sometimes. Just being able to fly around like this. Although the newer versions, I've tested them recently and they're not as stable, which is kind of annoying, but eh, they'll do. And we're away. And if you remember, all we have to do to go home is literally just fly in this direction for long enough, so hopefully we won't get lost. Goodbye. So yeah. It's so pretty. But yeah, I realize I spend way too much time like looking around like a mad person on these things. But yeah, as I mentioned, I will be doing a new season soon. So I mean, this Neph Plays Minecraft was originally supposed to be like 12 episodes, so I'll soon be doing, like, I'm going to do this episode, then maybe next one. It might be 12 or 13, I'm not sure. But either way, I'll finish it up, and then we'll have season 2. It'll come like immediately afterwards, so don't worry about that. But the question is what kind of mods I'm going to use in the second season. I mean, obviously I'm going to use my mods, that's one thing. But apart from that, I'll probably use Zeppelin again. I might not use it as much, but I probably will use it. And I'm not sure what else. I'm kind of, if you're not aware, Better Than Wolves changed recently. It's Better Than Wolves used to use a thing called Forge, which is the same thing that Red Power uses, and Industrial Craft and Buildcraft and everything else. So it was great originally. You could use all the mods together. But now, FlowerChild, the guy who makes it, he decided to change his mind, and so now it doesn't use the Forge anymore. What that basically means is that after I start dying, or stop dying, start dying? I don't know. But basically what that means is that Better Than Wolves is pretty much incompatible with everything at the moment. He even says so himself. I mean, it basically just, it overrides a whole bunch of base classes, and it just basically, it won't work with any of the Forge mods, which is kind of a bummer. So basically we kind of have to choose. It's either going to be Better Than Wolves and my mods, or it's going to be my mods and like a whole bunch of other stuff. I mean, I kind of like Red Power 2 at the moment. There's a lot in it, you know? It's not just like logic and stuff. There's actually a lot of like interesting stuff in it. I mean, nowadays it even affects like the world generation and stuff. But I mean, apart from that, you get like, you know, glass panels and stuff, and just loads of cool stuff. It's nice. And now we're in the clouds. Whoosh. I won't do sound effects, that'll get weird. But yeah, so I mean, this episode and the next one are all pre-recorded, so they're going to be this kind of like, you know, kind of just random commentary. But the ones after those will all be live again, so yes, they'll make more sense. And actually, this episode is mainly me like returning home and flying around. Next one is going to be all buildings, so like it'll just be, I actually have like 2.5 hours of footage for it, so it'll basically be, I'll cut it down to about 45 minutes of just like a montage of just me building the whole laboratory. And yeah, so I'll be like basically the rest of the Better Than Wolves tech tree. At least how it is in 1.7, so yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I actually recognize that cliff, as weird as that is. Soon enough you should see us reappear on that map. But yeah, I mean, like, the Zeppelin is so stable now, like in the newer versions it's, the lighting is kind of weird, and sometimes, you know, like, graphics just glitch out all over the place, and it's kind of like, ah. I might use it, but I'll see. If I do use it, I'll build a much bigger airship, because these small ones are getting ridiculous. And as well, on that note, I mean, like, what do you guys want to see? Because, as I said before, for the next series, I'm not sure if I'm going to, like, you know, keep stuff from this series and bring it to a new world, or I should just, you know, like, start completely all over again. So I'll leave it to you, like, leave a comment, what do you think I should do? Just start all from scratch again, or just, you know, bring stuff over? Save me mining again. It is up to you. My voice has gone really deep and weird. Yes. Well, it's dark, so that works. I don't know what that was. Anyway. So yeah, it's getting dark now, so we're going to have to switch to Neph vision soon. You all know Neph vision. Although I played with the effect a bit, so it should look a little bit better now. Or worse, but either way. Yep, there we are. The first time I did this was the time when I accidentally destroyed the whole craft, because like there was like 50 pigs here, and so I just like, I did the kill all command and like the airship disappeared. I was like, no! Rage! So yeah. Was not pleasant. And it's George! He's back. So yeah. And everything's here. It's weird, like this is, like it's been so long since I've been here, but at the same time, like if you're watching this series like a year from now, it's like the next episode, so it's not too long. Oh, and I have to change my controls. Oh, and by the way, you see the way the controls do that in Zeppelin? If you want to adjust the other controls, all you do is resize the window, and it'll work. There we go. And now we're in Neph vision. I don't know how this will turn up on YouTube. It might be a bit bright, but it looks cool on my screen. Because like, if it gets too dark, it just looks ridiculous. I mean, keep in mind, this is 1.7, so I can't turn the brightness up. Hello, skeletons. Gah, GUI does not look good in Neph vision. Oh yeah, my parking skills are not the best. You'll see why. I kind of just all of a sudden here get hooked on a tree, and I'm like, wait, I'm stopping. What the hell? What? Ah! So yeah, and I couldn't kind of get away from the tree, so I basically just leapt out of the airship. Thankfully the tree is nice and lets me down. Although I have like half a heart left, so I'm just running around looking at everything. Don't rape me! So yeah. And we're back! Finally! Little happy dance. And so yeah, I mean like I said, it was ages since I was back here, so. And just sleep to make it daytime again. And we can see it's still autumn outside. I'm not going to go out there just yet because I have half a heart left and will die. But yeah, so we're back. And yeah, I went off to get some food because like there was, as you saw, I had half a heart, so I just went and murdered some pigs. And there you can see the airship like stuck in the tree. Hello George, how are you? So yeah. And the fire pit, which is always overgrown. Of course, the question is, how do I get back up there now? And the wolf is there! Do. I never actually named that wolf in the end. I probably should have. And there was the room that was supposed to be a bedroom, never turned into anything. See, I like this house, but it's kind of awkward to migrate it into a new world. I'd have to like cut a chunk out of like the new world and stick it in there. It's doable, but it's not easy. And the water wheel was dead for some reason. I was just sitting there thinking, God, that's going to take a long time to rebuild that. And then there's the farm that I never finished. I actually do get around to sort of finishing this eventually. But, oh yeah, I needed the glowstone dust, that's why. I forgot about that. In fact, funnily enough, in 1.7, it's fairly easy to make what I was trying to make here. But in the newer versions of Better Than Wolves, everything is harder to make. It's just, it's such a pain in the rear. So I'm really not sure. I mean, like, personally, I think I'd actually prefer to almost leave Better Than Wolves out of the new Let's Play. And, like, you know, keep things kind of simple, closer to vanilla Minecraft. And then just add in the stuff I want with the mod. Because, I mean, now I've kind of got the hang of modding things, and it's fairly simple to just add in whatever I want, so. But, of course, the mod I'm making, I'm being very careful not to, you know, replace any base classes, so. It should be compatible with pretty much everything. It only uses, like, 4 block IDs. In fact, yeah, currently 3. We'll probably use 5 in the long term. And it just adds a few blocks and it, you know, basically just kind of fits vanilla. It's very, like, it's very simple, but it's, I'm hoping, very well implemented, so it should work well. I'll have to see. When I do finally release it, like, I'm gonna, like, do a video myself and then try to get all the big YouTubers to do videos. Just, like, you know, beg them every day, please do a video of my mod, oh my god. In fact, if any of you out there do mod spotlights, I'd really appreciate it if you could cover it as well. I'll let you know here once I have it available on the forums. And now just looking through my inventory. In fact, yeah, that's what I goddamn need, a storage room. I never made one. I might not get to it in this series, but next series I'm definitely going to. In fact, my mod might help with that. But I'm saying no more. I don't want to reveal it just yet. And so, yeah. The rest of this was really just me, like, sorting out what crap I had. I've just got stuff everywhere. It's just, it's such a mess. And actually, I need sand as well, because I need to make glass. Hello, George. How are you? Oh yeah, and of course now we have fence gates, which makes that a lot easier. Instead of stacking 2 dirt every time. And we're away! I forget why I actually left on this horse. Oh wait, now I remember. I was going to go get sand, but then I realized it's probably very far away. You see up in the top left there, in that map? So yeah, it's quite a distance away. So I was like, I could go by horse and fall into every hole along the way. Or I could take the frickin' airship, which is sitting right there. But of course, what's the only thing that's better than taking the horse or the airship? Taking them both. But of course, first we would have to find our way into that bloody airship. So yeah, screw it, just take the tree. Oh, I'm dying, yes. And just do this. And then hack away leaves. Actually, of course, once I start doing this, the leaves start disappearing, and it's like, no! So, yeah. And then the Zeppelin is in my way. Just hop up there. And we're back. Actually, I think at the time I was doing this, I hadn't got my control set for back. So, yeah, I kind of had to take the long way around. And now to get George. Come here. Here, George. Here, George. Get your ass over here! There. Yeah. So, of course, here's the funny part. It seems like a simple thing to get your horse in your airship, but you would be surprised. Mount it. Mount it. Oh, you have to have an empty hand for this. It's kind of annoying. Or a block of dirt, but not a tool. And so you hop in, and it's like, oh yes, you take up 2 blocks of space, don't you? Damn it. And just the way the box is, like, he just does not fit anywhere. It's just, like, so irritating. Come on now, George. Get in. Get in. Nah! So, yes. And with that, I'm going to leave it here. Later, guys.